So the countdown is on, and we have now got less than 6 months before we move back to the UK after living in the US for nearly 15 years.
But there are some things we'll miss about the USA, so here are 12 things that we know we'll miss, and stay tuned to find out one thing that we won't miss.
Hi, I'm Susie.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Welcome to Here and There with Him and Her. Join us as we chat about all things related to our transatlantic journeys.
Get yourself a brew, settle down with a biscuit, and we'll talk about the 12 things that we're going to miss about living in the USA.
Number one on our list is space.
Yes, because of the abundance of space in the United States, we get more living space to live within, more square footage in your house. The house that we have at the minute is over 2,600 square feet for the two of us and a cat, which seems excessive. Plus the garden that we have, it extends that to over 3,000 square feet. It seems excessive, but it's certainly works out cheaper per square foot than what we would pay in the UK. Most of the houses, in fact, all the houses we've had since we moved here have all had internal garages, which has been great because
Integral, I think he means.
Integral, then, sorry. Inside garages, because it means that in the rare instances when it's very, very cold, you don't have to bother scraping the ice off your windscreen on a cold morning before you get to work. And talking about the cars, obviously space allows wider roads and highways here, much, much wider than what we were used to in the UK.
And bigger parking spaces, so that you don't struggle so much to find somewhere to park.
Bigger parking spaces as well. The second thing we're going to miss are our washer and dryer.
Yes, I really, it sounds sad, I guess, really, to miss an appliance or two. But the washing machines and the tumble dryers over here in the US, not only do they have a larger capacity, I think ours is over 7 litres, so you can really get a good load in, as it were. They just seem to be faster as well. Doing the washing over here, or the laundry, as you say, and then going back to the UK and using my mum's washing machine, it just seemed to take forever. And then, you spend hours and hours and hours waiting for the washing to get done. And then having a tumble dryer is it's not a novelty now, but it was a novelty when we first got here, because in the UK, you tend to just hang your washing out on the line, don't you?
Oh, we did before we left.
Yeah, or you hang on a radiator, because it's expensive to run a tumble dryer. That's what we're always told anyway. It's expensive to run a tumble dryer.
But we didn't use it.
We don't use it that much. You use it
the line more often, didn't you?
That's right. You might do your smalls in the tumble dryer, but you would tend to either hang outside if it's a nice day, or if it's not, we have radiators in the UK, and you just hang them on a radiator or hang them on a clothes horse next to a radiator, or if you had like an airing cupboard or something like that. So I will miss or even miss
Sean Connery,
the tumble dryer and the washing machine, because it means that I can get the laundry / washing done in easily 4 hours on a Saturday, and then it's done. Brilliant. So number 3 on our list is convenience. And when we talk about convenience, we're really talking about kind of shopping and doing, running your errands, I suppose.
Yeah, and banking hours as well.
And banking hours. So over here, there are extended hours, really, aren't there?
Yeah. Not just the supermarkets. And when we left back in 2010, we left the UK, most of the major supermarkets were 24/7, I think.
The big ones.
The big ones were,
Not like the little shops, but the big ones.
Yeah. But here it seems to be a lot more shops are open, more convenient hours for people. And then there's, if you like it, the drive-through aspect.
Right.
Banking's drive-through, takeaway, takeouts, banks, pharmacies. What else is there? There's other things.
It just seems to be everything you can just drive up to. There's even coffee, smoothies.
The oil change people, where you just drive in and drive out again as well.
Yeah,
so you stay in your
10
car.
minutes. So that adds to you're not running around like on a weekend and having to
Trying to get
rush
things done.
everything done.
Yeah, or rushing around after
Things,
work.
yeah,
Yeah,
things did get better in the UK because they started to do Sunday hours, didn't they?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
all businesses weren't open on a Sunday, but that came into being when we were still living there.
I think
But
so.
it's still limited times on Sundays, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's not the same hours as you would have on
And we
a
don't have
weekday.
that here. I mean,
Yeah.
so it really is. I think we are really going to miss that convenience, so that we can just go after work and know that we can get doctor's appointments or dentist appointments or go to the bank.
The fourth thing we'd like to talk about is the return policy we found here in the United States.
Now, this may have changed since we've moved here, but in my experience, when we still lived back in the UK, if you bought something and you wanted to return it, you kind of got asked, you kind of got the third degree a bit, didn't you, about
Yeah.
like why you didn't want it and what was wrong with it and did you use it? And, there was, it was kind of a lot of scrutiny, and you kind of, like when you go through customs, you already had a guilty looking face. You kind of had to justify it because they thought you were trying to scam them or something. But over here, they don't even look at you sometimes.
Yeah.
They just take the receipt, or they take the delivery notice or whatever it is. I mean, I go, like recently I returned some things and I go with everything. I have the whole packaging, everything, just in case they need something. And the woman just looked at me and said, we don't need all of this stuff. We just need the clothing or the item and the receipt, and
And
that's
that's
it.
it.
So it has been a lot easier to actually return things. Saying that, on the other side, pardon me, is also online shopping obviously has boomed quite a lot in both countries, I
Yeah.
think. But the fact that, going with the convenience, I think it's kind of just added together that we can order clothes online but still return them in person and you're still not questioned. It just makes the whole process a lot
More user friendly.
and enjoyable,
Yeah.
really, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, number 5 on our list is I know we're going to miss our screened in patio. So, as we've mentioned in previous videos, we live in North Carolina and the temperatures can get quite stifling when it gets to the summer months. So, we have this nice screened in patio where we have fans. So, we can kind of sit outside, but not completely outside, as it were. So we can take in the fresh air and we can feel like we're being part of nature, kind of. But I'm not going to be eaten alive by said nature because bugs love me for some
You're a
reason.
buffet for bugs.
I don't know what it is. If I have a special blood group, I don't know what it is. So having a screened-in porch has actually been brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and we can actually extend that now because of the fans being in there. We can extend sitting out in the patio from about March all the way through to maybe even November.
Yeah.
It's been quite good, hasn't it?
Yeah. The other benefit from it has also been for our cats because we have indoor cats, and it gives them the benefit of being able to go outside in a safe environment without the fear of being attacked by other animals or catching rabies or getting fleas and ticks on them. They can go outside there, roll around on the concrete, and have a whale of a time.
Yeah, there are outdoor cats here, but we keep getting alerts about coyotes
Yeah.
and birds of prey and things like that. So it's a bit dodgy for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Number 6 on our list of things that we'll miss once we move back to the UK, and miss about the US, are the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah, one of the big reasons we chose to settle here was those mountains. Our first, before we were married, before our first trip here together, when you come back to go to visit your high school
Yeah, the school I
down
taught
in
at.
the southern part of North Carolina, you brought me up to the mountains and it was just breathtaking. It's one of those times when you come to a place and suddenly you feel very, very much at home. And I felt like that there. And it's become kind of a special thing for us. Every year we celebrate our wedding anniversary and pop up to the mountains for a long weekend. And
discover new places.
yeah,
fall in love with it more. Really.
That's the thing. It's always got something new there, despite us going there for the last 15 years. There's always something new when we pop up there. So yeah, it's we're going to miss that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Number 7 on our list is to do with food. As is a lot of the stuff that's in our life is to do with food. Anyway, so American food specifically. I know we are going to miss diner food.
Mm.
I guess, what can be described as diner food. Me, especially, I have fallen in love with Waffle House hash browns. It was in a song, wasn't it, by Bloodhound Gang? What you
Oh,
smothered, what you covered,
covered.
like my Waffle
Yes,
House hash
yes.
browns.
Not cap though.
No, no. So these are different from the hash browns. I don't know. The ones I can think of in the UK are like the triangle shaped
Yeah, deep
ones
fried
that you
things. Yeah,
get for like an English breakfast or
yeah,
something. These are just like, I guess, grated potatoes that
yeah,
are just fried up with onions. But you can get all these extra toppings if you want to. So
yeah,
but they don't call them like with onions and with cheese. It's like smothered with onions and then
yeah.
covered with cheese and then capped with mushrooms and
Mushrooms.
all these different
There's a ham one
sayings.
as well.
There's a
That cat.
ham one,
What's
yeah.
that
It's like
one?
a,
I can't
anyway.
remember.
So if you ever get the chance, if you ever
Mm.
come over, and I think they're pretty much in the south of the US, aren't they? Waffle
Well,
houses.
yeah, there is a famous method of detecting damage by hurricanes by being able to tell
Which waffle
which ones are
houses?
still intact.
Yeah,
The other thing is their coffee's really good as
yeah,
well.
they have really good coffee,
Yeah.
and also they stay open till 2 a.m. So if you are, out on the drink or going to a club or
Not that we
whatever,
would ever do
and you
anything
have
like
the
that.
munchies,
Yeah,
just know that they're open till 2 a.m.
yeah. Personally speaking, some of the best milkshakes I've ever had were here in the US, um, including alcoholic ones as well, which were
Oh
good,
yeah, you have that.
and frozen custards and things like that. I'll miss those. Um, excuse me. And of course, living in North Carolina, the barbecue um, food is exceptional. I mean, it's what they're known for is their barbecue, and of course, there's variations on barbecue depending on particular areas in the United States. Here, um, it's to do. Oh, I can't remember
It's
the.
pork. It's pork
Yeah,
based here.
but
So
there's Kansas City barbecue. There's
Texas
Texas
barbecue. Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah,
They
yeah.
all have their own regional variations, which I've really enjoyed finding out about. The other thing is the sandwiches.
Yes, sandwiches. Yes,
Um,
big deal.
yeah, I mean,
When I first
I
told,
would say pretty much through all my working career,
yes,
I would pop out and get a sandwich, and it would be from British Home Stores or from Marks and Spencers. Now, don't let me knock them; they were good. But here, when you get a sandwich, you get a sandwich. It's piled up with stuff, and it's always on the sub roll. Oh, sub roll!
yes,
That
don't forget.
reminds me. If you're liking what you're hearing, why not subscribe to our channel? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you like what you're hearing, and also if you want to make a comment on your particular favourites on the US side of food, please fill in your comments in the section below.
Subtle, subtle.
Which moves us on to number 8 on our list of things that we'll miss about the USA, and this is all yours really. It's some of the stores that are here.
It is, yeah. Some of the shops. I am I won't say I'm a little person, but I am a short person. I am. I seem to have a normal sized torso, but yet little legs. And has taken me a long time to find a shop that caters to the right length of trouser or pants, as they say over here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to miss that. I'm going to have to find something back in the UK. It's just whenever I was shopping in the UK before we moved over here, I struggled to find the right length. But I had my mum around to do the sewing for me, and my mum has since passed, unfortunately. And I can sew a little bit, but I'm not very good. And I'm sure I could find somebody to do it for me, but it was just always handy. Just pop round mum's and, she'd obviously then make you a cup of tea and get you some biscuits or some cakes that she baked. It's not the same. It's not going to be the same, is it? So I will miss having a shop that I know caters
Mm.
specifically for the right length of my little legs. If you know of any shops that cater for people like myself with little legs back in the UK, please let me know in the comments. I would love to get a head start on finding somewhere that will cater for my leg length. That'd be great. Cheers.
The ninth thing we're going to talk about on our list today is the air conditioning. Where we live in North Carolina, the summers can be very, very hot. and hot for a long time, and the humidity and heat would be unbearable without air conditioning. And I know you're going to particularly going to miss it, aren't you?
I am. I am a woman of a particular age. I'm sure other women out there can feel my pain. I'm going through perimenopause, which means I get the flushes. So, air conditioning, if I had to deal with those hot flushes with air conditioning, I am going to have to live in a freezer, I think, because it can get quite extreme. So, especially at nighttime, air conditioning in the summer months, I don't know. I just don't want to think about it, to be honest with you. Speaking of the menopause, it is an idea that I have to maybe do another video talking about my coping strategies, how I deal with going through the perimenopause and the flushes and all that sort of stuff. So, if you think this is something you might be interested in, please comment below and let me know if you want. We want to start a conversation about it. I think it's important for us women to actually share our experiences regarding this stage of life.
Coming in at number 10 on our list are federal holidays, what we'd call bank holidays in the UK.
So well, we talked about this one in terms of us as teachers. So in the main, whenever we are in school in the US, there seems to be more holidays that we get off
Hmm.
than if we were just using the UK bank holidays. And I'm also talking about like the spread. I feel this may be just me personally, but in the UK, I feel like a lot of our bank holidays are bunched around spring and then like the start of autumn and things like
Hmm.
that. Whereas over here in the US, there's like a couple of days in January and there's a one in February, and depending on where Easter hits, we can get something in March, April.
Hmm.
There's definitely one in May. There's one in June for Juneteenth now.
Yeah.
There's the 4th of July. I mean, we're not in school then. Then there is Labor Day in September, Thanksgiving, November, as well as Veterans Day. I just feel like the spread is a bit more even
Yeah.
over here. And I feel like I'm hoping to not really worry about it because, as we mentioned in previous videos, we're trying a semi retirement when we move back to the UK. So we might not miss any holidays. But I think I will miss, as a teacher in the workforce, the spread of the holiday
Yeah,
times.
and I can say, as having worked over here outside of teaching, not all those federal holidays are taken off by people. People will still work some of them.
Yes, it's not always guaranteed, is it?
I'd never worked a Good Friday until I came to America, and that was a shocker. um, so there are more federal holidays in the US than the bank holidays in England and Wales. But then when you add in the bank holidays in Scotland and Northern Ireland as
Yeah.
well, it's probably roughly around the same.
Anyway, that was just me. I think I will miss that spread of holidays. Speaking of holidays, number 11 on our list is the ability to pop on a flight and end up in Vegas.
Yeah, the internal flights to the United States are a lot cheaper. I think it's probably akin to what we'd experience in Europe, say flying from say Manchester to Paris or Manchester to Dublin or any of the European capitals. It's a similar price that you'd pay, and it's the variety as well because everywhere's different. DC is very different from New York. We can get on a plane here. We can be in Florida in a couple of hours. Vegas was a long flight, wasn't it? That was
Vegas and yeah, more about that was about 5 hours,
about
wasn't
five
it?
6 hours. But still, it's that ability just to pop on a plane and fly somewhere without having to really undergo big security, crossing borders sort of thing is quite is
Yeah,
something we will miss. Plus driving. I mean, we could drive to places from
yeah, road
here,
trips.
road trips from where we live to places like Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston,
In
places like that.
Tennessee,
Yeah, up to Tennessee. Um, it's pretty easy driving, isn't it? So
definitely.
long driving, not what you used to, but certainly pleasant driving.
Yes.
The 12th thing on our list, of course, will be the friends that we've made in the USA over the last 15 years that we've been here. We've made some very good friends. and it's going to be a bit of a wrench to leave them behind. But I think they're more likely to come and visit us once we're back in dear old Blighty.
We have found it.
We're certainly going to do our utmost to stay in touch with them, aren't we?
Definitely. We would definitely will miss our friends.
So after talking about the 12 things we will miss, here's something that we won't, and especially for my beloved here, that would be...
The potential of bumping into snakes.
Yeah, Schrodinger's snake. How many snakes have you seen whilst we've been here?
One little dead one.
Yes. I've seen more snakes cutting the lawn in the time that we've been here than you've ever seen.
But I know they're out there. That's the thing. I know they're out there, and they're poisonous,
potential,
aren't they? That's the
well,
thing. We have snakes in the UK,
Mm.
but only one of them is poisonous, and it's not even like the poison isn't enough to kill a person.
Yeah.
But over here they have not rat snakes. What's the one that we have here?
Copperhead.
The copperheads. There can be in the swampy bits the cottonmouth.
Yeah.
And most of the snakes, to be honest, are black snakes, aren't they? They're the ones that eat rats and other rodents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't seem to mind those, but you do hear a lot. And if you, like me, before we moved over here, make the mistake of Googling about snakes in North Carolina, you probably see some scary things like snakes hiding in cars, or there was that thing in the news about a snake in somebody's toilet in Texas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I just will be very happy to be back in the UK, where I feel like I can walk through a slightly tall grass without the fear of potentially bumping into a snake. I know it's irrational. I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching Here and There with Him and Her. I hope you enjoyed our chat about things we're going to miss about the USA. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets us know what kind of content you like and if you want more of it.
Please also feel free to drop us a line in the comments below, ask us a question, come up with suggestions, reinforce the fact that snakes are out there in North Carolina, that I'm not a crazy lady. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
And if you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We're off now to have another cuppa and some biscuits. What would you like, Jammy Dodgers or a Tunnocks caramel wafer?
I think we'll go Jammy Dodgers.
Jammy Dodgers it is. Take care, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.